I
Yes.
want to jump right into the main event because it kind
Ooh,
of
you
feels
want to
like the
jump in there?
one big thing that kind of is standalone from a lot of other things, and probably the most notable thing of the night.
Hmm. I'd say it was the most notable thing of the night. The crowd was hot for the main event. Of course, the main event was the trios match.
House of Black,
Jazz,
Jericho Appreciation Society, and the Elite,
Jazz.
which House of Black, the champions, had to be the first entrant.
Hmm. I mean, the crowd was silent when it was just House of Black. So they made the right decision of bringing them out first.
And then they got Kenny, and then they got Judas.
Judas did Batman. Yeah, that was probably the loudest chanting of Judas I've ever heard.
At least in a long time. At
Yeah,
least in a long, long time.
yeah, the crowd was hot for Jericho.
They pretty much saved their entire energy through the whole show for this match.
Hmm. Yeah, there was some cheering for Stu Grayson earlier, a little bit, but mostly it was just about Jericho and Kenny,
Um,
and they were hardly. And they did the AEW thing. A good portion of their one-on-one was during the commercial.
so match starts off, you get holy shit before anything ever happens. Um,
Yeah,
Eventually Jericho tags in
you get a this is awesome after the first chop,
because Brody
and it
whipped
doesn't
through.
even involve any of the Canadians either. As it was Brody on
Sammy and
Sammy.
Garcia. I
Yeah,
can't remember who was
yeah,
first,
it was
but
Brody on Sammy, and then Garcia got in after him, so it was Brody on Sammy. Yeah,
then
yeah, one chop.
they
This
tag in
is awesome.
Jericho. Malachi tags himself in for Brody, and they start to do the pace around the ring, and you see Kenny just like leaping over the top rope to tag himself in over Malachi, and
Yeah,
the crowd loses their fucking minds because you get Jericho and Kenny in the ring face to face.
yeah. So yeah, you got Jericho and Kenny face to face in the ring, and that's the loudest pop you get of the night. With without those two actually doing anything, just standing there face to face is the loudest pop of the night.
And you could see it on their face. They were loving it. They were so happy. They were
Hmm.
having so much fun with
Yeah,
it.
like it was. Yeah, like they were trying not to smile, but they couldn't help it.
Which is funny because during Jericho's entrance, that's probably the most serious I had ever seen him look when the fans were singing his song. It was almost like, come on, Canada, you better pull through. Like,
I, yeah, they definitely delivered. I think, and especially after getting to see his parents at ringside too, he's gonna be cheesing. It's like my mom and dad are here.
I've never had this in my entire career.
Like that's great. Yeah, that's I don't know, but yeah, the crowd definitely saved all of their energy for just Kenny and Jericho here. Like anytime House of Black had any kind of offense going, silence.
So it's a trios match, and it's also three-way trios match. So of course, this is a situation where notes go out the window, just not
Mhm.
happening.
Wasn't trying to do that. No, thank you.
I think we're kind of on par with exactly what our biggest notes would be anyway, which are just the fan reactions to certain things. Um,
Yeah.
like even within the storytelling of the match, at one point Brody was being his dominant force again. Jericho and Kenny teamed up to superplex Brody, and the fans were going crazy because they were getting to see the two guys team up and work together, take down the big giant that's running everybody over.
Hmm. Yeah. That I mean, Brody still got to be Brody.
Still dominant.
I love that moment when Brody is like hulking around the ring, and
Like the whole barking thing.
before so no before that who who was it that was in the ring with him and he's trying to get out of the ring and the whole elite just jumped off the side of the rings and they're like nope.
Oh yeah, it was either Sammy or Garcia.
Yeah, I'm like either one of Sammy or Garcia were like we don't know, hey one of you guys, and they were like I'm like, he just pretty much single-handedly took those belts away from us last or a couple weeks ago here. No, thank you.
We'll wait till he's a little bit more tired.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, after you take out the big boy's knees, then you're fine.
man, I mean it's wrestling, so you kind of know. But when Brody went to the top rope before he got superplexed, and he was looking like he was going to dive to the outside, I'm like, nobody is going to want to catch you. You can't do this. There's no way this happens, right? He's going to do it one day, and I'm going to freak the fuck out.
I want it. I want to see him do it because it's in his repertoire.
Well, that
He's gonna do it.
means it needs to be like Satnam down there with Lance Archer and Wardlow and Hobbs.
Yeah, just big meaty men catching big meaty men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they'd be all right. They could, as long as, but it would probably need. There was what 8 other people in the match. They could have set it up to where they could catch him.
Because usually they always like clip on people's shoulders and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, this is still. I'm like, they'll be able to do it enough, but I would not want to be one of the people volunteering to be into that pile. I mean, if his guy's like Darby, Jungle Boy.
Well, yeah. Let's say I used to. I was a cheerleader for a minute there, and those guys aren't much bigger than the cheerleaders that I used to throw.
Oh
And
God.
it doesn't hurt catching them. So
So
yeah.
kind of.
Especially Darby.
Oh no, I meant imagine
Quarter
Darby,
pound Darby.
Jungle Boy, and the Legs trying to catch Brody.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. My bad. Other way around. Okay, yeah, that would be bad.
Dude, I could catch Darby if you wanted to jump off the top rope.
Exactly. That's I don't. That's what I was thinking. I don't know. Yeah.
In the end, though, it was a whole lot of House of Black dominance because they hit Dante's Inferno on one person. It got broken up. Something happened where they end up hitting it Dante's Inferno again and winning. Um, Kenny takes the code breaker from Jericho better than anyone on a consistent basis.
Kenny just is Kenny, man.
Every single time it looks so good.
Yeah, I'm wondering when Jericho Kenny 3 is gonna be.
I'm trying to remember too.
That's what I want to know.
There was a number 2. Would that have happened?
Because so
Feel like
apparently the
probably
first one happened in New Japan,
right.
and then
Yeah, they
think there
had
was
to
one
have.
in AEW.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure there was one in AEW
I think it
early on. I think.
was it Jericho versus Omega with the winner facing Page for the first championship. That might have been it.
Maybe.
Because I know Jericho had won the right to be on his side, and Adam Hangman, he had won about Royal. And that's how they were finding their first 2 people to fight for a title. Maybe that was it. I feel like they probably should have. I just can't remember.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, all I know is they're 1-1 in their singles matches, so it's time. It's time, baby. It's time.
Oh, hold on. No, he beat Mox. was trying to remember. Kenny beat Mox for a championship. Might have been like during Kenny's side. No, because Kenny would have been. They would both been heels.
Yeah, they were both heels, man. See, told you. I
But
don't know.
when that pin happened, as you were talking about earlier, whenever House of Black had
Oh
offense,
man, it was like how quiet it was after Undertaker lost at WrestleMania. The
yeah,
crowd just went.
from being the loudest of the night because of Jericho and Kenny to just straight silence when House of
Yeah,
Black won.
yeah, they were just like, well, bring on Rampage.
I will say at one point though, something was happening where the House of Black jumped all over it. I can't remember what it was, and it did allow them to get some really, really loud boos. It just didn't really carry over to the finish of the match. I can't remember what they did.
Yeah, I could not tell you off the top of my head. I can tell you that the end of that match was hot. The ending to the match itself was, but it was hot. And then they cut it.